Can Arch Manning really be the next Texas legend? The name Manning. It just means quarterback greatness, doesn't it? Archie, Peyton, Eli. Three legends who etched their names in football history. Now, another Manning is stepping into that crazy spotlight. Not in the NFL, but deep in the heart of Texas, wearing that iconic burnt orange. Arch Manning isn't just some hyped recruit or a promising backup anymore. He's quarterback one for the Texas Longhorns. Yeah, the weight of that name, the shadow of his family. It's huge. But this isn't just about his last name now. It's about talent. It's about what he does on the field. It's about whether Arch Manning can quiet all that noise and carve out his own legendary path in Austin. The heir apparent takes the reins. For 2 seasons, Arch Manning waited. He learned. He developed behind Quinn Ewers. He's even said it was tough being a backup, especially with the transfer portal buzzing these days. But he stayed. He chose Texas. His words? "There's nowhere else I want to be. I want to be the quarterback at the University of Texas. Sometimes it's just worth the wait." That patience, that loyalty to the Longhorns? It says a lot. Now, the wait is officially over. As Texas heads into the 2025 season, the keys to one of the most watched offenses in college football are his. Coach Steve Sarkisian says he's confident, proclaiming Manning ready for the moment. And what a moment it's shaping up to be. Texas isn't just hoping for a good season. After 2 straight trips to the college football playoff semifinals, Austin is thinking national championship, something they haven't done since Vince Young's magical 2005 run. The stage doesn't get much bigger. The pressure? Almost unimaginable. The statistical splash? More than just hype. All right, let's look at what we've actually seen on the field because the numbers are starting to paint a pretty exciting picture. In 2024, mostly coming in for Ewers and in a couple of starts, Manning completed nearly 68% of his passes for 939 yards. 9 touchdowns through the air, just 2 picks. That's the kind of efficiency that makes everyone sit up and take notice. But it was that breakout game against UTSA that really got people talking. Coming in for an injured Quinn Ewers, Arch just lit up the field. 9 of 12 passing for 223 yards and a massive 4 touchdowns. And he wasn't done. He then ripped off a 67-yard rushing touchdown, a play that screamed real-deal dual threat. Think about that for a second. A 75-yard touchdown pass and a 67-yard touchdown run in the same game. That's historic stuff. In fact, he set Texas freshman records for both of those in a single game, something only Longhorn legends Colt McCoy and Vince Young had ever done in an entire season, let alone one game. He followed that up with a cool, collected performance against Mississippi State, going 26 of 31 for 325 yards and 2 more scores, looking poised and accurate. These aren't just flashes, they're serious signs of what he could become. The dual threat dilemma for defenses. What makes Arch Manning so interesting isn't just the arm, even though it's clearly got talent. It's the legs. That 67-yard touchdown run? It wasn't a fluke. He's consistently shown he can make plays with his feet, racking up 108 rushing yards and 4 rushing touchdowns on 25 carries in 2024. That's over 4.3 yards a pop, a dangerous part of his game for any quarterback. This isn't just about scrambling for a first down here and there. It's about those game-changing plays that can just crush a defense's spirit. It puts defensive coordinators in a tough spot. Do you drop more guys into coverage to handle his arm and risk him burning you on the ground? Or do you assign a linebacker to spy him, which could open up passing lanes? This dual threat ability? It reminds you of some of the best QBs to ever wear burnt orange, and it's a huge weapon he'll need against those tough SEC defenses. The Manning DNA: poise, pedigree, and pressure. Look, you can't talk about Arch Manning without talking about the elephant in the room, that last name. His granddad, Archie, a college football icon. His uncles, Peyton and Eli, both 2-time Super Bowl champs, both future Hall of Famers. That's a legacy that brings an insane amount of scrutiny. Every single pass, every decision, every game is going to be picked apart and compared. Yet, from everything we hear, Arch has handled this incredible pressure with amazing composure. Coaches rave about his work ethic, his humility, how he's always focused on getting better. He doesn't act like he's entitled to anything. He acts like a player hungry to earn his spot. This mental toughness, this ability to play under a microscope, it might just be his most underrated weapon. The physical tools are obvious, but it's this calm demeanor, maybe something you get from growing up around football royalty, that could be what really lets him shine. He's not just another talented quarterback, he's a Manning. And with that name, he just gets what it takes to win at the top. The road to legend status, challenges and expectations. Becoming a legend at a place like Texas? That's no small feat. The Longhorns have a Mount Rushmore of greats, names spoken with serious respect. For Arch to even get into that conversation, the path is clear, but it's not going to be easy. The 2025 season will be his first as the guy, the full-time starter. And it's not just any season. It's one where Texas is expected to be right there fighting for a national title. The schedule will be an absolute monster. A week-in, week-out grind in the SEC, which everyone knows is the toughest conference in college football. He'll be up against defenses that are faster, stronger, and more complicated than anything he's seen week after week. And right out of the gate, there's a huge test, an early season trip to Columbus to take on Ohio State. That game could really set the tone for the whole year. Analysts are quick to point out that while his early games were impressive, a lot of them were against so-so defenses. The real test? Being consistent against the top dogs. Ball security, while pretty good so far, is something he'll need to keep locked down, especially against SEC defenses that live on creating turnovers. Plus, Texas will be breaking in some new faces on offense, with key receivers from 2024 gone to the NFL. Building that chemistry with a new group of receivers will be key. The Longhorns are reportedly even hitting the transfer portal to bring in more receiving talent, highlighting just how much they need dependable targets for their new QB. The expectations are through the roof. People are already whispering Heisman Trophy and maybe even #1 NFL draft pick in 2026. Some analysts, like Tom Fornelli from CBS Sports, think giving Manning the keys will make the Texas offense even better than the one that made the CFP semis in 2024. But then you have guys like former SEC great Aaron Murray telling everyone to pump the brakes a bit. Murray says Manning still needs to show he can play at that elite level consistently and win against top-tier teams before we crown him the next big thing. He even asked why, if Manning was already a surefire top pick, he wasn't starting over Quinn Ewers sooner. It's a fair question that really gets at the difference between huge potential and proven production over a full season as QB1. So, what do you think? Does Arch Manning have what it takes to not just live up to all this hype, but to actually etch his own name alongside those Texas Immortals? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And hey, if you're enjoying this breakdown, do me a favor and hit that like button and subscribe for more looks at college football's biggest stories. Your support really helps us keep bringing you this stuff. Carving his own legacy. Beyond the name. The Manning family's shadow is definitely long, but Arch has a golden chance to step into his own spotlight. He's not just Peyton's nephew, or Eli's nephew. He's Arch Manning, the quarterback for the Texas Longhorns. And at Texas, the bar for QB legends is sky high. Vince Young delivered a national title with one of the most legendary performances college football has ever seen. Colt McCoy basically rewrote the record books with his accuracy and leadership. To be in their company, Arch needs more than just good stats and a famous last name. He'll need those signature wins, those clutch moments in huge games, and that ability to make everyone around him better. That legend status? It isn't handed out, it's earned. Earned with consistency, with leadership, and with championship-caliber play. One analyst, J.D. Pickle, actually thinks Manning might not even need to play at a Heisman level right away for Texas to be great. He points to how strong the whole team is, especially the defense, which some folks think could be the best in the country. That could give Manning some breathing room to grow into the role without feeling like he has to win games all by himself from week one. But to hit that legend level, there will be moments. Moments when the ball is in his hands, and the game, the season, maybe even a championship is on the line. How he handles those moments will be what defines his Texas legacy. And we also have to remember how much college football has changed. The pressure to be great right now is intense, and with how easy it is to transfer, Players often don't stick around if things aren't perfect. Manning's commitment to Texas, his willingness to wait his turn, that suggests a different kind of mindset, one that's focused on getting better and being loyal to the program. That dedication, along with his obvious talent, gives him a great starting point. So, can Arch Manning really be the next Texas legend? The raw talent is absolutely there. Those early showings weren't just promising, they were record-setting and flat-out exciting. He's got the arm strength, the accuracy, that surprising ability to move, and maybe most importantly, the poise under an unbelievable amount of pressure. He's in an offense run by a smart offensive coach in Steve Sarkisian, and he's on a team that's built to compete for it all. However, that road from hyped prospect to legend is long and tough. The 2025 season, with that brutal SEC schedule and national title dreams, is going to be the ultimate test. He's going to face setbacks. He'll have moments of pure brilliance, and he'll have moments where he's got to learn and adjust. The key will be whether he can consistently raise his game against the best, lead his team when it truly matters, and carve out a legacy that's all his own, separate from the incredible achievements of his uncles and grandfather. The potential is there, a seriously exciting glimpse of what could be. The tools are all there. The stage is set. Now, it's up to Arch Manning to write his own chapter in the incredible history of Texas football. It won't be easy, but becoming a legend rarely is. All of Longhorn Nation, and you better believe the entire college football world, will be watching.